Okay, good evening or good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are. It's another exciting edition of Oche Discussions, and today we are super excited because we have a star in our midst. Yes. And it feels absolutely wonderful to roll with the stars.
Yeah, man.
And we are honored to have Sir Ejike Asiegbu in our midst. He is a born leader. He has always led and others follow. He is educated, he's enlightened, he has charisma. I don't know if you guys have seen him in person. I have been privileged to see him in person.
Excuse me.
So
I met him now. I've seen him in person now.
Allow me to shine.
Santa Maria Primary School. Go and hug your transformer then.
Can someone help me hold my head?
Don't worry, Chef like and I've seen people who have seen him.
You deserve
people who have seen him.
Put your own horn.
Okay.
He doesn't just
you guys saw him lately. I just saw him in Owerri 3 years ago at a Goatney function in Rockview Hotels in Owerri.
Benson, I'm trying to shine. Exactly. Benson, I'm trying to shine.
Go ahead and shine. Go ahead and shine.
Okay. It's your turn.
Yes, it's my turn. So he's a Nigerian film actor, and he's also a director. He once served as the president of Actors Guild of Nigeria, and that wasn't the first time he was leading. In his university days, he was the SUG president, and if you trace back to his secondary school days, I'm sure he was a prefect. So Oche is honored to have you in our midst. We know what it took you to be here, and we don't take that for granted. We are so happy. I don't know if we can contain our excitement and joy, but because you are human and because you appreciate art, you decided to honor our invite. We don't know how to say thank you, but we are really, really thankful that you're here. And without wasting time, could you please tell us a little about yourself? Where are you from?
He's Abba boy for life.
Is he Abba boy?
No, that's my intention.
I
didn't say everything. I wanted
I'm sure he lived around St. Michael's Road, Pound Road, that kind of thing.
Yes. Well, St. Michael was just nearby. I lived at, Cameroon, by East. Cameroon East.
Of course. You went to St. Joseph's.
Nwaba complete.
Nwaba complete. By Constitution Christian Primary School.
CCPS. Oh yeah.
Well, because let me quickly start by thanking Ben for getting in touch with me. despite being under the weather, I felt it was an honor to have me be one of your guests. You know, thank you, Mr. Ben. I now that of course I remember vividly when we came to Warri for that meeting with your former boss. You know, it was quite inspiring one with Adora, Oche, and the rest of us. You know, well, for me, it's an honor. I thank you people because it's not easy to also gather and plan for such occasion or such event. So I'm grateful. I don't know how to start. I'm always a very shy person when it comes to talking
me
about
too.
when it comes to talking about myself. I like I said many years ago, before the war, for some of us who saw the program in the north, of course, from Aba, of course, Abara saw that we ran. We were all different, traveling with my parents at different places. We were lucky. We missed, I'm sure probably some of you here must have heard about that train disaster that claimed a lot of lives in Igbo. We missed it just by hair's breadth. To God be the glory. But having said that, like our younger sister was just saying, my primary education was at Constitution Christian Primary School. Of course, after that, because of movement, my dad worked with then ECN. Now people call it NEPA, Electricity Corporation of Nigeria, Power Holdings, and what have you. I was born in Makodi, in Benue State, and of course, continued my primary education at Lokoja. After that, I moved on to Kene Abdulaziz Asa Memorial College, Kene, where I did my secondary education. That Okene is old Kwara State, but now Kogi. Afterwards, I went to CKC. I went to CKC briefly. It was a short stint because we were the last set of grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 in 79, 80 set. And that was when I finished at Okene. And so I worked afterwards because being a young man who was restless and too many punishments I had to undergo because we were conquered people and they decided to put that on my face by telling me I'm an Igbo. Yamene, that's what they used to call us. So I fought my way through school as little as I was. My father used to make jokes about me because I was very brief. I was very short. He never knew that I would get this big, and that in fact he contemplated telling the doctor to give me an injection so that I can grow, I can get taller, you know. But he said he had to think about it again, and he didn't have to do it. But he was happy that I, beyond all imaginations, I am 6'2". Who knows? Perchance, if you had given me injection, I would have been a giant.
Exactly.
In fact,
But having said that, afterwards I went to IMT and did my A levels. After my A levels, I had about 9 points, which was not enough for me actually to get into doing my advanced level. I decided to continue to do marketing, which was brief. I didn't complete the 2 years. I left to University of Port Harcourt, where, of course,
you can say his
I
name.
was already.
What his back?
Hello?
Can you
Sorry.
unmute
Go ahead.
yourself? Go ahead.
Somebody,
You
yeah.
can unmute everybody.
Yeah, can I go on?
Yes,
Yes,
go
Oh,
ahead.
please.
yeah.
So I had to move, I'm sure, to University of Port Harcourt. A lot of people are asking how, my movement. Yeah, I was a restless young man, and I was already acting while I was in Enugu. You know, I was on television in those days in my old Anambra State. You know, I was involved with the telemovies of those days. I was in New Masquerade. I was in Batia Company. Oh, yes, I
Wow.
was in New Masquerade. I was in Batia Company. And of
Yeah.
course, I needed to. The first director of Batia Company is by name Uncle Paul Uriel Warwicker. He's from River State. He was the first director of Batia Company. And he had seen me on television in Ola Anambra State and seen some of the work I was doing and was excited and wanted me to go and study. He said I was good. And of course, you know, as a young man and as a very obedient son, you have to, back in the days, your parents would tell you, go and study marketing, go and study engineering, you must be a doctor. You have no choice because they're the ones paying your school fees. But at that stage, I was really talented and I knew what I wanted wasn't that. I failed math severally, flunked it severally, wrote a lot of GCE severally.
Oh, make me feel
Knew
good.
that mathematics. He knew that mathematics was not, it was a no-no for me. But again, I was resilient because I knew what I wanted. I was already asking. And so when I spoke to Paul Warwicker, I told him to come talk to my dad, which he did. My dad then was a district commercial manager with NEPA in Enugu. So we were staying at Independence Layout. That was where we were living. And of course, ABS television was very close to our house. So he came, saw my dad, and they talked. And my father gave him permission, actually, to allow him to take me to Port Harcourt. Well, we went to Port Harcourt, and behold, the first man that I saw that he introduced me to was the author of The Gods Are Not to Blame. I'm talking about late Olarotimi.
Oh, wow.
And that was how, of course, my sojourn started at the university. I don't want to bore people a lot, but I thank God I was already an amateur acting in Enugu in some of these telemovies and productions. I was popular in the whole Anambra State, but because of my desire, my appetite, my hunger to actually get it done better than what I was doing, that was how I went to. I agreed for him to go to university. But beyond that is that I also, because being on that set, I'm sure a lot of people want to remember, of course, the owner of Batia and Company, Diogoninai. You know, the man that Professor Ben, what's his name again? The professor that was hung, the great author.
Was it Sarah Weaver?
Sarah Weaver, thank you.
Sarah Weaver, yeah.
Yes. He's the owner, he's the writer of Batia and Company. He owns it, you know, so he was upset. And I was actually, he saw me, yes, he's a great author, one of the finest artists, apart from his own calling, you know, as an environmentalist. He was a great writer, you know, very trained. He's just like the late Major General Maman Vasa. These are all literary giants. I'm sure if you type their name, you'll see the kind of jobs. He was a poet and also an author. They wrote very well. So he had seen me, he had invited me to be auditioned as one of the people for on his set. And amongst all the people there, then at ABS, he personally selected me to the director. So I was on the set of New Masquerade because I played alongside with late Jegede Shokoya. I played the role of a professor in one of those episodes. But bottom line is that I had all these experiences before getting into University of Port Harcourt.
Nollywood.
But University of Port Harcourt bettered my persona. bettered my acting skills because it's always better. You have the raw talent, but it's always good to go to school. And we talk about the theoretical aspect of it, but again, the practical aspect of it. And that was why, under this training that was being organized by late Olarotime, we call it certificate diploma. I enrolled quickly. It was a 1 year program or 1.5 year program. And usually a course that is usually for 4 years was thrown down to about 1.5 years because you were made to study different kinds of drama. They teach you how to light. They teach you how to be a makeup artist. They teach you how to write scripts, be a director, and also be an actor, amongst other things. And all these were quite tasking and challenging. But I thank God that under his tutelage, under the tutelage of Olarotime, it made me a better person and made me a greater actor. And I can tell you that by the time I was done, I was one of his best. That gave me direct entry now to start my degree again from year 1 to year 4. For my certificate program, I majored in acting, while for my degree, I majored in directing. But in course of all that, I have had very beautiful career as an authority. I'm an authority on dramaturgy because I was trained by one of the best. Hubert Ogunde, the likes of Hubert Ogunde, I was amongst those people he picked while he was on a tour to Nigerian universities to come and work at the National Theatre. You know, I had gone, but even though after graduation I went, but I decided to toe a different line because back in those days they used to fund, stage productions. Stage productions used to be funded. But then when I came out from the university, I was one of those avant-garde students that wanted to get started, and I lacked the patience to come and stay for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, which was good, which was thorough. I had gone through all that exercises while I was in university. So for me now, I believe in artistic excellence and economic survival, and I wanted to just get them headlong, and then continue because I knew I had all it takes, to do very well. We were among those young ones by 1991, 92 that ensured that we gave birth to what you know now today as Nollywood. But not that Nollywood doesn't exist. Nollywood has always existed. Of course, Nollywood is just a name. It's a nomenclature given to the Nigerian motion picture industry. And there has been so much said about Nollywood. And now the people talk about new Nollywood. But again, I will allow you people to ask questions. I didn't tell you other things that I had served in other capacities. On graduation from university, I was also a one-time former personal assistant to late Chief Emeka Ojukwu.
I was going to come to that.
Yeah.
I was going to mention that.
Well done.
Let me not bore you. Today's not to make too much speeches before my
No.
So let me just allow you guys to ask me.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, that was a thorough one. I don't think we have so much questions to ask again. You have thoroughly introduced yourself. You have demystified yourself. We didn't even know that you go way back as Bassi and Company and even New Masquerade. We thought Nollywood was your springboard to fame. So we didn't know you had been there since. So what was your first Nollywood movie?
Yeah, there are a lot of movies that you don't get to hear today. We'll call it second chance.
Yeah, we watched them, second chance.
Second chances. I started from, for example, my career on television started from NTA Aba. Yeah, and that was when we had second chance in Aba. I'm sure all Aba people, you are young.
Yeah, we remember that.
Yeah, okay. Before then, I now went to Enugu, where we now continued. Before we were doing all those telenovelas before going to school, and even when on holiday, we will continue. So Second Chance was amongst the very best. And let me just quickly also remind people here that I went for audition for Living in Bondage, for example, but because I had my exams and because of we all have the same background when it comes to the kind of parenting we have, you dare not leave your whatever you're doing, leave your education.
Yeah. And say you're doing movie.
Yes, I had to rush back, but I went for the audition very well.
Okay, so that was what landed you in Blood Money.
Well, Blood Money was just one of those. Actually,
because they were all in the same category.
Ejike, something just sprung to mind now. Why are you missing your exam? Guess that. Guess that in a give me play. You might not body a movie. In a give me play. I got to happen. Give me play.
Acting.
Okay. Okay, so having come this far, that is taking me to my second question. Having come this far, what would be your advice to people who want to join the industry now? I mean, you went through every stage, if I must say. Okay, you started acting even before you went to school. You eventually went to school. You know, you did the acting aspect. You also majored in directing. So we can say that you are a thoroughbred. Okay. So what advice would you give to people who are aspiring to be like you guys? From what I gathered, talent is not enough, right?
No, talent is not enough. It's not even an option. You know, talent is not enough and can never be an option. I always tell people, everybody, for the young ones, you must go to school. School is very important. Education is quite critical. You must empower yourself. Beyond your talent, we all do have raw talent. Yes, it's good. You will always see there is always a desert of difference between someone who went to school, someone who is talented and is only talented. Can be talented and you are good. People will applaud you, but people will.
You don't have that finesse.
You won't have the panache. You won't have it. The panache. You will never have it. The finesse. You know, if you've not gone through, because I went through so many people, so many hands, so many professionals that, you know, who are good just practical wise and also theoretical wise, you know. So I will always advise the younger ones, please, your talent is good, but that's not enough. It's better for you to go to school, be educated, be sound, then you can combine that with your talent because you'll have learned quite a lot about what one is doing. For example, a lot of people do not know our comedians here. There are a lot of them, a lot of comedians in Nigeria feel that they are not actors. They say their own is comedy. They are not actors. But again, they don't know that what they are doing is for calling themselves comedians, that they are actors. Because comedy is just a genre, it's just a branch. Because we have comedy of manners, comedy of situation, we have slapstick, we have satire. You know, I can go on and give you 14 different kinds of comedy, but under drama. Because all these also have, but they don't know because they didn't go to school, they didn't study theater, they didn't study drama. So if you study drama, then you will understand that everything is broken down, you know, in different genres. So a lot of them I try to tell them.
When they say such things, you guys that are educated in the field, you have a good laugh.
Yeah, I have something to add there, if you don't mind. Nowadays, kids think, okay, we went to school in Nigeria. It was education was cheap for us, and I think it's kind of cheap to compare to here in the US, because an average college student pays $20,000 a year for education, and by the time you finish college, it's like 80,000. You have in student loans, and unless your parents can afford to pay for you. And you see kids straight from high school here, they start entertainment and they do well, they rap, they act, and they do other things, like, they do so many things, and which gives them money. So nowadays, the younger generation are arguing that that not everybody needs tertiary education, which is the university, right? Like secondary school is fine, you have to have your GED, the WAEC and everything. So do you still advise somebody who has talents, who came out from secondary school singing, rapping, acting, and doing very well, and maybe with the help of his or her parents managing the money right, do you still advise them to go to college, or do you think it's a waste of money? Because even me, I start saying, man, college is a waste of money for people who have talent. I trust me. Because if I started, I would have been, a big fashion designer now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You'll be Wigo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
More than Wigo self, So Ejike, do you think it's still,
Yeah, let me tell you, my sister, let me tell you, we are operating from different clients.
Yes.
Different clients. You talk about US, UK, Europe is different from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Even while they are still there, you still find out that they are still inadequate. There are a lot of inadequacies. Despite that talent, despite that making money. When them you
Guy, you don't enter Aba.
There is going to be something extra. Grad school, the amount the benefit of school. So talent, many wakataya. If you mix it up with your talent with education, it makes you, you come at that level.
Makes you top notch.
Yes, you become top notch. You become prepared. You become bold. You become more confident. Otherwise, you might just think that your talent is everything. You have money. You cannot buy everything. There are a lot of people who are still lacking. No matter how anyone wants to talk about it and say, well, I have my talent, I'm building all this, I have my different apps, I can make money. All those are good, but be educated. It makes you to take informed decisions, that will actually be critical to your better development than someone who did not actually go to school. School is important. So I still say talent is good. I tell you something, my dear. For example, the way I will interpret my character, I am talented, I am gifted, compared to, and I'm also educated, compared to, because having learned through the road from great people, those great men and women who are not stupid, to have written books and have been able to give informed advice and decisions that help a lot of people to triumph in anything they are doing. They are not stupid. Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Hi.
Yeah, we're listening. Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah. So they are not stupid. They understand very well. With all due sense of humility, when I interpret a character, I am talented, I am gifted, but I go through all the nuances, all the things that I was taught by those great men and women of letters while I was in the university. And also other things that I had to learn even while I was outside university, going for housemanship, going for one acting lesson or the other. It comes out with finesse. For example, as we are talking now, I want to tell you the difference between myself and any other person that calls himself an actor because of my training. I will cry. I will cry under a minute. If you permit me to,
Go ahead.
Can you show us?
So that you see, and it doesn't come like that. Are you ready for it?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
And those tears I want to go is the situation of someone that lost somebody. So, and I am pained by it. So just hang on and take it.
Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. You don't carry past Oche, sir.
And it's such an unfortunate thing that you have to leave. I will miss you.
Wow.
You're
Now,
making me
did
to
you
cry,
see the
sir.
tears? Did you see the tears?
Yes. How do
Yes,
you do that?
yeah. It's awesome.
Good.
Wow. Well done,
Well,
Ejike.
I call this
Oh my God.
internalized acting. A lot
Comes
of
from
my
the
peers,
inside.
I make bold to say, a lot of my peers who act similar kind of role cannot do what I do.
Yes.
But because of, apart from my talent, because of my training, I know how to do it. Look at it there, it's still dripping. If you look at
Yeah,
it
it
well,
is. Yeah, we see it here. This is
that is what I
awesome.
call,
Surreal. Yeah.
that is what I call acting with finesse. I go in and I bring it up. They can't do it. A lot of them will use either what do you call it?
Rob.
Bam and rub to do it.
Yeah.
You didn't see me move. I'm here. I did it naturally under a few seconds. So that is the difference. That is the difference. And this between myself and another actor. And that's where the training comes. You can only pick a couple of people who can do this. That's the truth.
Okay.
So,
all right, can I piggyback on this question? You went back to do theater arts. So what about people who did social work and they want to act? Do you advise them to go back to follow their career education, or just
absolutely.
So far you have a college education?
You can. As long as you have the interest. What is most important is your interest, your drive, the hunger, the appetite. Yes. The interest matters most. Once you have it, you can achieve whatever you want. Do you understand me? If you're a social worker, most important is your heart. What am I looking for? Do I really want to do this? You have to be patient. You have to understand it. You have to watch. You have to be humble yourself and learn. When you learn from those masters, master ladies and gentlemen who are of the art, you will grow and try to act alongside those people while you're on that set. They will teach you a lot. Do you understand me? And that's like watching us, acting alongside some of us will help you grow. It builds more confidence, and you will be, because everybody's gifted. Everything depends on how you're able to use it. We're all talented and gifted. Do you understand me?
Yeah. Oh, okay, Ejike, let me ask you, based on talking about going around them or talking about education, right? You know, in today's world, in every job, try to introduce apprenticeship. Is there any form of apprenticeship in the movie industry? So for those who cannot really go to the university, is there any kind of institution you form where they join you and you teach them the rudiments, not just the actions? Do you have that?
Yeah, sure.
Is it happening? Yeah,
it's happening. There are a lot of apprenticeship happening. Some of them are personal apprenticeship. You know the situation in Nigeria, not a lot of people have their own academies. There are academies you can go to who can help you, but it depending on who owns such academy. And will that academy be able to give you the best? A lot of people today have academies, but are they good enough? That's the problem. So the only shortcut to that is having some kind of personal mentorship. That kind of approaches. Your one-on-one thing with some people you think can help you guide you and make you become a better person.
Learning on the job. Is that it?
Depending on the kind of character, role, your job, as long as it's the movie industry you want to go to. It's better you somebody you know. This man, I believe this man can take me to where I don't mind. I can pay him to teach me how I can become a better person depending on the field. Then the person can take you to somebody he knows. For example, someone who's good too in terms of script writing. It could be somebody who's a cameraman. It could be somebody who wants to be a good actor. Then we can. For me,
mentorship more or less.
Kind of mentorship is more to go faster, and if the person humbles himself or herself and is really ready to work and prepared, and then you find out the person will build more confidence, and then with introductions here and there, the person will grow. A lot of people want it; they want it as a career with a thing. When they just get today,
sorry about that. Yeah.
So it's fine. When they get it, they just want to quickly, I want to act.
If they will write, they'll start writing their own movie now. Everybody's a script writer. I'm writing one for everybody.
No problem. Everybody writes. As long as you writing a good story, people know your story writing is different from, it could be a very good story, but not made for screen. You still have to get a screenplay writer. A screenplay writer will now write the language of film, now to make it become more interesting and then create characters. People can tell a story. The genre telling story. You can own the story, the intellectual property, and write your story. It's an ordinary story. But in giving it flesh and life, that means the screenwriter now creates character from what you have written that will now make it come alive and more. So that's how it is. So there's nothing wrong in answering the question. I think it's good. Interests are there. Okay. That's why your mentor should be the one to know what you want, what are you looking for, how, and the person will be able to explain to you and coach you to the level of believing yourself and doing the right thing, or introducing you to those right people and persons that can help you actually to realize your goals.
Okay, thank you so much. And that takes us to the next question. Is age a barrier to joining the industry? Do you believe in the phrase, catch them young?
Yeah, we believe in the same stage of catching them young. Age is not a barrier. You can join it even when you are 50, the better, because the older, the merrier. That is one of the greatest industry where, as long as you are still cerebral, your brain can carry you. As long as you are talented, it doesn't matter. Are you ready to learn? Do you understand me? Because our field, our industry is an ageless industry. You see people who are 80, as long as your brains can still help you. 70, 80, as long as you can still remember your lines, they give you a script and you read it. And of course, even if you are 80, as you are getting older, then you are even most suitable for the kind of character. If you are playing mama or you're playing
exactly. That's what I want to say, Ejike. I noticed that these days, rather than paint people with chalk to make them look good,
they just get somebody old.
Yes. So that's why I have hope. I have hope that I'll be acting very soon.
No, but you can. You have it. You have it. As long as you're talented.
I hope your brain can carry fee.
Itiborika, don't worry. Expo, I'll write it on my
phone. Brain is full of this.
Okay, that brings me to my last question before we throw it open to the audience. What are your personal challenges and what has kept you relevant in the movie industry?
My personal challenges in the movie industry.
Yeah, during the course of your career, not at this stage. I mean, by the time you got in, what were the personal things you felt, or how did you scale all the hurdles? How did you pull through? Because I mean, every life is not a picnic. No matter how good you are, you would always have challenges. That is what makes us human.
Bad contracts, especially for entertainers, that normally start with bad contracts.
Okay, so I want to hear his personal one, since crying was not a challenge for him.
Let me tell you, the truth of the matter was that I have been a restless young man right from the time I started as a young person. I probably started when I was 16 or 17. And because I had the hunger, I had the appetite to do it. When I left university, I was above the age. I was more than 30. And so I did not serve. And for me, it was needless. For me, it was a bloody waste of time to go and stay 1 year youth service. That's for me, because I knew I had my raw talent and I couldn't wait to exhibit my talent. So you see, perchance that is another thing. And for me, I believed that I knew what I had to give to the world out there. So a lot of sacrifices. I also told myself I needed to shun money. Money is not all. A lot of us made a lot of sacrifices when it comes to,
exactly.
those days when we were started trying to make money. Money was not all. A lot of artists come today, I want to make 100 million. I want to make this. I want to make that. For us, that wasn't it. When we started, was to make people see what we are doing enjoy themselves, and be happy for it.
And
and then
possibly learn.
yes, and then learn more, keep going until we are trying to build an industry. That was how it was. We were trying to build an industry, and that was
Yes.
what kept us going. But beyond that, let me surprise you, because I was part of the NTA brought up. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes, we
can.
can. Yeah, go ahead.
Can, yeah.
Because I was brought up by NTA. NTA had the best contract.
Oh,
NTA
wow.
had a contract then, and they were paying royalties. Yeah, they were paying royalties. Each time
I'm
they
proud. Okay.
those our movies again, they will still pay us stipends. If it
Oh,
is one
wow.
naira, if it is pounds and 50 kobo then or 10 pence, they will pay us then back then, and
Oh,
they still
beautiful.
maintain it till tomorrow. So it's the industry that a lot of us are trying to make them now begin to see the relationships between producers and other arms of production. And
Yes.
that's why in Nigerian movie industry today, we have the Audiovisual Rights Society, which is a collective rights society of movie makers, just like you have for musicians, co-sons. And our chairman, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Balogun, we just got, by the way, we had our fifth AGM meeting where new people were elected, and I was elected to be one of the board of directors of Audiovisual Rights Society, and we are talking about the collecting rights for movie industry to see how we can get some money paid, no matter how little. Some of our movies that are shown on television by hotels and some of those sundry places that show our films. It's not, a lot of people don't know that, yes, DSTV can, for example, acquire our movie, they buy from producers, but they must also, we have not given them their right. We did not give them the right to show those films on TV. So issue of contract. That's why a lot of producers and executive producers, likewise, they give you contract to sign. When they give you the
Yes.
contract to sign, they pay you. They say that they can use your movie, they can use your picture, they can use every skill or
Exactly.
videography of your person. They can use it anyhow they want, and depending everywhere they go, anywhere they sell those movies, these are the implications. Whereas it is only the producer or the executive producer that earns all those um, um, monies that gets back to them. Whereas they only own the intellectual property, I can assure you that those actors, those directors, those scriptwriters, those um, designers, the fashion designers who took part in that job, they also need to be recompensated. They need to be
Yes.
compensated. So that's why audiovisual rights is something, talking about contract. It's going to take you back to what she initially asked me. These were the things I saw challenges when I started, but there were no challenges because I came from the
From
background of
NTA.
NTA that I was paying
Yeah.
royalty. And the industry, when we started, was not there, but it was a nascent industry. We are trying to
Yeah.
grow it and develop it.
Mm-hmm.
So we are now, our people are being conscientized, and some form of their awareness that people need to know their rights. People need to have their own managers,
Yes.
people, individual managers. People need to begin to do what? People need to now remember that you need to have, it's an intellectual property, it's your right.
Yeah.
So content owners, encouraging people to
Yeah.
earn money. There must be residuals from all the movies
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
everyone has done, and these are the
Yeah.
things that can keep us alive, even when you are no longer working. Those
And your
small
children's children can benefit from it.
children can still
Yeah.
benefit.
And what about
We are,
piracy?
of course, definitely. There's nowhere that piracy that we don't have piracy. Do you understand me? There is so much piracy going. Government will always complain. Government will always give assistance to tell you what and what they'll provide. But at the end of the day, and it means that we will keep doing what we think is the best thing for us to do. We are never going to say we are tired. We will continue to fight. We'll continue to fight for our rights. We'll continue to ask that things should be done normally and properly. These are the things that are some of those things we're still expecting that we can get the industry a better industry for all of us and for the younger ones who are coming.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I tell you
Thank
something.
you
Do you
so
know
much.
even people who hawk? A lot of people who hawk our movies. A lot of people make movies. When they make movies, do you know before they release it, the movie has been sent abroad.
That's why I asked. That's why I
Okay.
asked, because there's a lot of piracy. You know what I mean? The Nigerian is so, it's in Nigeria.
So
It happens here too, but you know.
At what point? Let me tell you something. At what point does those movies now escape? The movies escape either through the time you gave it to someone to go and edit. And if you are not there as the first owner, as an editor, if you're not there with the editor, you can transfer it to something and
Exactly.
the movie
Yeah.
goes. So it's a hard one, but we're on it with Nigerian Copyright Commission. We're doing so much to fight piracy. I can assure you that so much has been done to ensure that.
Yeah, Ejike, don't you think that piracy could be partly form of corruption from somebody, from an insider?
That's what it is. That's
Of
what he
course,
said.
we don't
That's
know.
what he said. Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
When I mean an insider now, people on top. They'll go on
Once
top.
That's what he said, that the director, the producer can, you know,
One of the
take
things,
it out. Yeah.
so much hands have been
That's what it
pointed,
is.
so much hands have been fingered,
Mm.
and they know themselves. A lot
Yeah.
of people are involved. It's a ring, and you cannot fight. These are not people that you can fight. You understand? So it's something that we know is there, that we are not taking for granted. We are not tired. We will keep on fighting it until we get the right, achieve the right result, or we get the right result.
We'll catch them, don't worry. I'm
Hey,
on their case.
Pascal here has a question for you. Pascal, do you want to talk, or do you want us to read your question? Pascal. Okay, Pascal was asking how come the Nollywood hasn't had
Sorry,
sci-fi music.
good evening.
Oh, okay.
This
Hi.
is Pascal.
Hi, Pascal. Welcome to
Yeah.
the show.
It's
Yeah.
my pleasure. Ajay. Thank you, Mr. Ejike Asiegbu. It's really a nice one this evening.
Thank
I
you.
decided to write the question, thinking that it will be read out for you to hear, but hence I'm given the opportunity. Let me just repeat the question. I am of the opinion that Nollywood has not been able to produce
Uh-oh.
We've lost it.
Network.
Ejike, you want to finish the question?
His village people.
mind-boggling movies like science fiction. What is likely to happen in the next 5 to back a lot of research?
Like sci-fi, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello?
You said you were on that Nollywood have not been able to do what?
A sci-fi movie.
So produce a very, let me describe it as a science fiction movies that actually is a
High-tech.
compartment of intellectual,
I
I don't
understand
know,
English.
but you should understand
I
exactly.
understand English.
That's
me
good.
tell-
Pascal, oh, don't harass or Ejike. Ejike
no.
said he can understand English.
Don't worry, Pascal. I'm equal to your task. Whatever question you ask, don't worry. The truth is this, Pascal. I understand the desire, the interest, and the wish of people. Do not forget as well the country that we're involved in.
Yes.
You talk about financing, no individual, financing. Finance plays a lot of role. You know, you might have to wish we did this, we did that. Do you have the money, my brother? Bring to us, we will do it. Working with you and your plan. Do you understand me? A lot of us have gone through our individual efforts. If you go through the history of Nollywood, you find out that it's been our own share, personal, hard-earned money that we are able to do the little ones that we are doing. We're not in America where they have funding, massive funding from so much. You should know the terrain of our country and understand too that it's a gradual process. Like most of the people who have been able to get some of the movies that have even been able to showcase us, project us well into the world, we are one out of many and very few. Do you understand me? We are lucky to have done that. Sci-fi movies are very good, but again, it is funding. We are ready to, if we have funding, of course, we'll bring out people who write very good storylines, and we will be able to, think through it and then do it. Everything is funded, proper funding. We'll get it. We don't have that right now. We're appealing to people like you, Pascal. If you do have people who are willing to bring the funding, we will try it, and you will be part of it. So give us ideas of people who will be able to bring in the material. Do you understand me?
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Now I understand the situation. It's not a paucity of ideas, but the funding, because it requires huge amount of money to, get those things ready. Okay, my perception has changed. Thanks.
Thank you. God bless you, Pastor.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Does anyone
Rosemary.
else have...
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to give Rosemary the opportunity to ask her
because she's
question.
been writing so many questions. Yeah.
Rosemary, you have the floor now.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to
Yeah,
the
this
show.
is actually my first time here, and I must say that I enjoyed the session. It's really enlightening, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here. So I just wanted to ask, like I put there in the chat, why, I don't know, I noticed that the industry doesn't really promote voice acting, animation and all. Well, like you just responded to Pascal about funding for sci-fi movies and all of that. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it's as expensive as all of that. So why doesn't the industry promote voice acting, animations and all of that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, then the second one, I just wanted to ask both at the same time. Then the second one, can there be more platforms, more opportunities for talents to be sorted, for talents to be discovered, and all of that? Thank you.
Yes. Because my head is pounding. If I forget the first question, let me first answer the last one. You talked about opportunities. Of course, there are always opportunities for one to get new talent. People should, like I did say, one of the easiest things, if you're already, my email address I'll give to them. For anyone who's interested, if you're in Nigeria, my number is there. Then I'll be able to give some help or give you some feedback on how to go about it. Yeah, I'm always ready. I have a lot of people who come, who are under my watch, whom I even send to one academy or the other. And some, if I have the chance, why not? They can be under my tutelage. There are academies that are, I think, I am very sure that one can send them to, and if they pay some token for 1 or 2 lessons, then that will be fine. If I get to write, in terms of voicing, we have, of course, an association, voiceover artists, yes, and those people are always there. It all depends on anyone who has the kind of animation job. Yes, you're quite right. You don't have as much as anyone will say yes in terms of animation. If you find that animation is still an upcoming, is a new thing that we're trying to build. That is still in the process and it's still being built. And I can assure you that a lot of voices, you will soon begin to hear a lot of voices. And there's nothing wrong.
Want to hear yours?
Yeah, definitely you will. You will come and pay for it, and you will get it. I'm always
and I will collect the cash for you guys.
Yeah, you are all my managers now, so that is
yes.
allowed.
So
like I was saying, Rosemary, if you are still listening, if you are in Nigeria, you have anyone or anybody who wants to, I can do that by virtue of this our gathering. Going through them, or let them give you my contact. My contact is there. And then I'll be able to say, you can get this. And I'll be able to direct you to 1 or 2, or the kind of things, depending on what you actually want and desire. The issue of what the issues you have mentioned here is already a front burner. A lot of people know. Even what about children? Children drama. We need to have more children dramas and movies. But again, you also know the kind of society we are involved because of insecurity. A lot of parents are still shy in trying to let their words, and the only time you can get students because you do not have a steady academic session in most sessions, only private universities. You find out that parents are not willing to just let their children, to just go movies. And the only time you can actually get children together is only during holidays. That's the only time, which is a fact. No parents would like to leave the children while they're in school to come and start acting. So these are all some of those feeding problems that, by the grace of God, when things are normal, we don't have a normal situation, things will be able to tease itself out. But I can show you everything you have said is quite noted, and I want to assure you that we can collaborate to work if you have even funders and people you think are willing to engage in not just only drama. We can even do radio, television shows that can help, talk about some of the social ills in the society. These are things that can help to steady the minds of the youth, because for now, so much is happening on our social media, which for me, that's not the way we were brought up, and we're not saying social media is not good. It's good, but so much is happening. So much porn activity. So much. Everybody has a space.
Appropriate content.
A lot of things. So we are watching, but we also know good parenting is also responsible for most of those things. You should know when to your limits and know when not to do certain things.
I agree.
I don't know if I have answered your question, Rosemary.
Oh, exceeded, yeah.
Yeah, but Bros, you didn't answer my other question though. Before we round up, I said, what have you done to continue being this relevant? Because the moment we put word out there that you were going to be on this platform, you didn't need any introduction. The rave was there, and you have come a long way. Over how many decades you've been here, and up to this moment when your name is mentioned, you don't need any introduction. So what is it that you have personally done to remain relevant?
Staying humble and disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Staying humble and
discipline. I agree.
Staying humble and disciplined. And to thyself be true and real. And always ask yourself, I always tell myself, I wake up, I ask myself, I first pray and say, God, thank you for myself and my family, for our life and our children. And I say, lead us out there, lead me out and making me to do the right thing. And also, God, please, at the end of every day, I ask, what have I impacted? What is it I have impacted? Have I done enough? What do I want to be remembered for? I always want to ask myself this question. Did I do enough that if the world comes to an end today, that I will stand amongst those that God will take up? You must always leave yourself. No one is perfect in life, but always remember that this is just a stage. It's always very, very important. Hello, my sister, how are you?
We're good.
Okay, Gina, Ejike Asiegbu. Hello.
All right, I have just a curiosity question. When we were young, Tales by Moonlight and everything, I don't know, was that like a movie village? Like, do you guys have like a movie set village like that? If something needs to happen, they go there to act. Like it's a set, you can just move the houses around, or do you guys go and borrow different houses to act, like things like Tales by Moonlight and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think I didn't hear you properly. Can you repeat yourself again, please?
All right. The set of Tales by Moonlight, like the village setting and everything, was it like a studio setting, or was it like a
actual village
setting where, I don't know how to explain it, you know what I mean? Like they'll have like
yeah, I know
villages when you want to act a certain kind of, like the westerns, they go there, like the village things. Do you guys have that in Nigeria? Or
yeah, let me tell you something. That's why I tell you, NTA, when you talk about Tales by Moonlight,
NTA, yeah,
they used to build sets. They built sets. Building sets will connote those places you see children sitting down. In some real cases also, for deliberateness, they stay under the tree. Because if you remember how the way you were brought up, your children in those days, your parents will call you in the village and they tell you stories. They make it as real as possible. They're staying under the tree, because under normal, that's what they call it, Tales by Moonlight. You remember those days our parents would call us at night in the village, everybody, everybody come down under the tree. So they used to do that to make us remember It's part of our culture, where we're coming from. While others, of course, sets are built to connote and depict the kinds of drama or stories that are being told. That's the essence of set building. And those sets note different kinds of families and where they are living. Do you understand?
Okay. Thank you.
Oche,
Oche, you have anything?
yeah, she needs to go through the comments. Oche, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm trying to see. I read some. I don't want to skip anybody's own. Okay, we have dealt with Pascal.
I think Adibeli said something earlier on.
Somebody talked about, I don't know if you can read the area of mentorship and passing on. I don't know.
It's Rosemary.
Yeah, Rosemary did. And then he says, Ejike says his number and his email address will be made available if anybody is interested to contact him later. Okay, and this is a compliment from Ataibo. She said the eloquence with which you have spoken today has supported the need for education in whatever field you find yourself.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, and then someone else said, thank you for doing justice to the questions. That's from Rosemary. And
Rosemary, thank you.
Chika Anyanwu said, when will Nollywood movies move away from perpetuating themes of infidelity, women desperately seeking marriage, and loveless unions?
Okay, what was the name of the person that said that?
Chika Anyanwu.
Yeah. With due respect, maybe these are the ones you have been able to see. There are myriads of movies. I make bold to say there are better movies. There are so much movies out there that you haven't seen that are telling the thematic content and storylines are quite different. I'm sure probably you've not had time to watch them. Maybe the ones you watch are the ones that tend to be repeated, that become a recurring decimal to you. I can assure you that there are far much better stories that are being told. And
somebody misheard you.
Sorry. He will unmute himself in a minute.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's important that we should, before we do a critic, there are a lot of things wrong, definitely. The things have changed now. But people should look inward. There are a lot of things, many stories out there that are doing well. But don't forget that people are producing. We have loads and loads of people who are producing, who are writing stories. And anyone that has, there's nothing that stops you if you have a better story or what you think that you can make your own contributions to our industry. It's not just only us. If you are gifted and you have a story, you can do that. You can even get your own financier. Some people can also help you to finance it. So that's exactly how it is. Okay, but I can assure you, of course, all that you've said is noted, and we pray things will get better. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I don't know. Okay, there's one more question. It says, how does one get a story noticed? I think it's as a follow-up of your last comment.
Send it to me.
You write a story, and for me now, make sure you register your story because I don't want to be involved in intellectual property theft. A lot of people. Now, that's something we call in literature. I want to get a word now. There's a story that, for example, Chika might have as an ideal story. This story is this story, she will speak with so much passion. This story is so awesome. If you hear this story, for you, that's the story. You don't know. Someone somewhere in America, you are here in Nigeria, has the same type of story.
Absolutely.
It just happens. Somebody, even 3 or 4 people have that kind of story. That's why sometimes you might give that story to somebody, and before that person reads it and says it's ready, you don't know if some other person somewhere without any communication with anybody, that person has the money and the person releases the movie, you will now start accusing, it must have been Ijoma, but I remember.
Yeah, so Ifoma is the name of the stealer.
You said that story I gave you. Ifoma, why did you steal my story now? You know, that's
yeah.
That's why I'm always wary of
Ifoma
people.
can do that.
I know.
Always, if you have a story, you can only consult someone you trust that has that modicum of value for himself that will not steal your story. Storytelling is a different process. Now, making it a movie, that's why I have a screenplay writer, who will tease it out, give it life, create characters, and then under the milieu of those characters, who are they? What age? What did they transpire? Who is Mr. A? Who is Mr. B? Who are their children? At what era did this happen? This person, suddenly you're writing a story of somebody who grew up in a school and then joined some bad group or bad gang. And what informed of that? What were their parents separated? What made the children to behave badly? And why are they keeping bad company? These are some of those things that inform some children's character and behavior. I don't know if you get me.
Yeah.
Yes,
So you could
of course, yeah.
the story just widely, but you've not given it proper authenticity.
Yeah.
Unless that screenwriter now creates that character, gives it back to you, then you begin to see, really? I never thought it this way. Do you understand me? And you begin to like it. So that's how it is. But I encourage you, okay? I encourage everyone, encourage you to have a story.
You're very right. You know, like I used to tell people, if you have a business idea, you run with it because you are thinking, someone else is also thinking. You don't want to believe that because you have this bright idea, every other person is just sitting down
and
waiting.
get your copyright.
So the moment you run with your idea, you copyright it, then you won't have those squabbles with people out there. So we've had a wonderful time, and we appreciate you so much.
Oche, there is one question from Rosemary.
I want
Which
to accuse
question
them
again?
of gender insensitivity. Ben is not talking.
Ben, do you have a question for Ms. Ejike?
No, I have no question. I have no question. They are doing justice to what the whole issue. But you have one question more from Rosemary.
Okay, go ahead.
It boils down to the same thing. Okay, it says, what is the place of mentoring, like passing on the torch in the industry? Like, we need to have authenticity. It is seriously fading. We need to have an Ejike Asiegbu, a Zach Oji, and Olu Jacobs replacement, etc.
Okay, thank you. My sister, you know, it is good. It's better said than done. The people you want to pass on to, do they even believe in themselves that they want to learn truly, or what we see today on social media? Are they willing to go through this process? These are the questions you ask, because some of the youths are not willing. A few are willing, but I can assure you that if there is always a desire by a lot of us who are experienced to help mentor young ones, I can assure you it is countless. I have over 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people that have passed through me that I encourage, I ensure I get them in, I encourage them, I tell them what they need to do in terms of discipline, in terms of educating themselves, getting the right knowledge curve and all that. They're out there. I don't know, I don't want to mention names. There are so many people. For example, you know, this young man, you know Robert Peters?
No.
Have you heard about Robert Peters? He's in the US.
Yeah, he's in the US now.
You know him?
He was the one that produced 30 Days in Atlanta.
Good. What do I get if I tell you that I discovered him when I was directing Mama Sunday in 1996? I made him to act. I discovered him in Jos, 1996.
Wow.
And he still remembers.
And I was still in Nigeria then now.
Yes, and he's still very grateful.
Maybe you would have been discovered too.
So he's still very grateful. These are just one out of many of them. I don't want to, but I'm happy.
Naming names.
I'm very happy that a lot of people that have passed through me, you know, they are doing well. And I am not tired of I'm not tired of also mentoring, and I'm not yet tired. I'm just 60, and you'll see more of me until I'm 100 years. And by the way, my father is 100 years already, so I'm still here.
Oh, wow.
So
happy sentinel to your dad.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm still here. Well, the issue is that are they getting or finding the right person? They need to look for the right people who will give them the right drive and let them also listen. If you listen, you will definitely be patient. People want to get it done now, want to be a star, well, whatever it is.
They want instant fame, instant money.
Ejike, what happened?
Network.
I won't forget to mention, Adibeli says he's a legend. So he knows.
Hello.
Yeah. We're here.
Hello, so sorry, a call was coming in. Yeah, call was coming in, but I cut it off now. So please.
Yeah, somebody said you're a legend. So
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
He is.
I'm humble.
And another person, when you were telling us what has kept you relevant in the industry, and the person put finally and looking good too. So it's not just all things you mentioned, plus looking good has kept you.
Absolutely.
And you have a good sense of humor too.
Sorry?
I say you have a good sense of humor.
Can you help me hold my hair, Ifeoma, please? Help me. Hold it. Yeah.
And going
Ifeoma's hand is too small. Ifeoma's hand can't hold it.
Ejike, you know when you were answering the question about the sci-fi movie plans, someone wrote in the comment box, all those witches when they fly, no be sci-fi.
That's our African sci-fi.
That's our time, yeah. Exactly. That's what they do. They don't fit do up there. So sci-fi and mixing chemical, and it make them turn to zombie.
So I never knew I could still do this up to now.
We were even I mean, we didn't even want to stretch you this much. We were going to have as little time as you could afford to give us. But look at you, have stayed. In fact, you've gone above and beyond for us, and we don't take that for granted.
And we love you for that. Love you.
Yes.
Yeah. Same here, my dear. Thank you. Anytime.
Thank you so much.
Love you all. You guys are wonderful people. Any other time, I am still under the weather, but I'm forcing myself to do this.
Yeah.
So when I'm in my true element, then you can
come back.
You can always.
Don't worry, we hold you to that.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, we'll hold you to this promise. We don't forget promises.
Once I'm strong, not a problem at all.
Okay.
Thank you, and go rest up. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for being a part of today's show. We really enjoyed ourselves with Ejike Asiegbu. Thank you so much. From the bottom of our hearts, it's a big family. Oche Kitchen is a big family. Anytime you're in UK, let us know. We'll do what we do. When you're in Abuja, hit us. Hit us. When you come to the States,
Oche Kitchen is everywhere. Whatever town you go to,
New York area, call me.
Thank you very much.
Me and Benson will rock. Me and Benson will rock your world. New York area.
On Saturday, same time. Saturday, because of the time change, UK 6 p.m. I know some of the UK fans came in at 7. Although I did tell everybody, but people don't like reading. It's okay. So it's 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and the US times.
No, we are falling back. We are falling back on Sunday. Our time is changing this Sunday. So it's going to be 5 hours.
It will be now 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay. So thank you very much. We love you all, and I will see you next week. The recording will go up on Facebook. ASAP.
Yeah, thank you guys.
ASAP. And please, when you get the link, share. So people will know. They will hear what Ejike said today. A lot to learn from today's show, and I'm quite happy. I'll be joining the industry very, very soon. Not for us,
Me too.
Yes, who act? All right. Take care, everyone.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Much love.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I'm so grateful.